Okay, this week in the garden we have what I'm going to call my first annual What the Heck Is It contest. This is the, I don't know if you can see that on the viewfinder there. There. I think you can. This is the volunteer vine. It started to set fruit this week, and gosh darn, I don't know what that is. It's a long yellow thing, and at first I thought maybe the fruit was dying, but it's not. So what we're going to do is, if anyone can guess what that thing is, at the end of the season I'll try to save some seeds and send them to you. The funny thing is here, I don't remember buying any Halloween decoration that looked like this. So it's about how big it is with my hand there. I don't think it's a zucchini. Could be some sort of a weird white pumpkin, but all of them are shaped like that. There's a couple more. So we shall see, and like I said, whoever guesses right will get some seeds for next year. This vine is now well over 7 feet long, growing away here. We got a little problem with angular leaf spot, and that came in from one of the gardening centers where I bought the cucumbers. I'm going to be tackling that with some fungicide. It's getting on the pumpkins now too, which I didn't think was a possibility, but there it is. Don't want the whole garden destroyed by that. And unfortunately, I think once it gets in the soil, it's always in your garden, so that's something we're going to have to deal with in coming years, I guess. It is really affecting the cucumbers quite badly. Here's our little mortgage lifter tomato. And I did spray it yesterday to encourage more tomato sets, as I did with the other ones, which are now loaded with tomatoes. At least the ones in front are. Those are the Beefmaster. The ones in back are the heirloom beef steak, and those aren't doing as well. And there's our forlorn little lettuce, which no one wants to eat, but does send up some pretty flowers. So we'll enjoy the flowers and getting a lot of beneficial insects from them too. Okay, over to the Three Sisters section here. Everything's doing well. The knee-high by the 4th of July is an old myth, by the way. Even though our corn mostly did make it to that mark, it's not a concern with modern corn. I guess with the old-fashioned varieties, it was more of a concern. Trying to move slowly here. There we go. And the only really old-fashioned variety I can think of in this garden is this one, Stoll's Evergreen. And there's our poor little milkweed. Doing terrible. But overall, the garden is a little behind last year. I think that's because the temperature's been so up and down this year. We just came off a cold snap that ended yesterday. And it was barely in the 70s a couple of days. It's not good for growth in the garden. I did find a new seed company that I hope will sell some seed to me for next year. They're semi-bush vines, most of them, and they're resistant to powdery mildew, which is a huge problem in this garden every year. So I'm hoping next year I will be able to get some of those seeds and experiment with them. We have some powdery mildew resistant pumpkins. So far these are doing fairly well, but I'm going to start spraying in the evenings because we don't want to have any problems. We're already having problems. So that is this garden, and we'll go over and look at the flowers, even though there's not much to report there. It is so hard to tell in the sun what I'm pointing at with this camera. I think I'm more on the yarrow or whatever it's called. As you can see, it's gonna bloom, which does my heart good because a lot of the roots popped out of the soil, and thought I was gonna lose it. The lavender over here is a big popular thing with bees, so that's a good thing. I never realized that before the last couple of years. The bees are really attracted to it, and that's good for the rest of the garden. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope so. There we go. As you can see, weeding is a never-ending thing in this garden. And our elfin thyme is doing fairly well. Let's see what else we got going here. Excuse me, I have a new toy this week. It is one of those, let's take it off. It's one of those tripods that wrap around things. I was hoping that I could steady the camera a little bit with that. I think the strawberries have shut down for the hot weather. And got some daisy there. And here's our little tomatoes. This is the heirloom beefsteak, which neither one of these is doing as well as the Beefmaster. But I did spray them with Blossom Set, and it looks like it worked. The Beefmasters are going nuts. Of course, I sprayed them with Blossom Set too. So they are filled with tomatoes right now. Not a bad thing. Let's see if I can find the big one. We always have fun with this, don't we? There we go. Starting to turn a little white, so maybe it'll be ready in a few weeks. Basil's looking better. I guess it's supposed to be a couple different colors. And over here in the bird bath, we put some, it's a bacteria that kills mosquito larvae. And hopefully it'll work. It doesn't kill birds. Doesn't kill dogs or cats. It just kills mosquito larvae or larvae or whatever they are. Got some of our roses doing their second round of blooming here. This is Love Rose, which has been sick for about 3 years now, and I'm thinking of just pitching it. It's been in the garden for over 20 years. It's kind of a shame. But they don't last forever. Maybe time. Here's the rest of our little stuff, including our marigolds. We have these giant marigolds this year. There we go. Look at how big that is. That's not even one of the biggest ones. Kind of fun. And this German chamomile I thought was dead about 2 or 3 years ago, and all of a sudden it reappeared this year, so always welcome. Okay, one more thing to show you. I'll be right back. Okay, one last thing before I sign off this week. There's a Japanese fern. It's called burgundy lace. And I always wanted a fern. I really wanted to grow a one that was more specific to this area, but this one's so pretty I couldn't avoid buying it. So I'll let you know how it goes. It's in a nice shady spot, hopefully moist enough for the fern too. So that's all for this week. I'll see you next week.